So it's going to be a mini call breakdown on the rapport, desire, and the cost of an action. And the main thing with the rapport is just to, this is my style, everyone has a different style, but from what I'm seeing, is having loads of fun, chilling out, making some jokes, getting them to laugh, making some assumptions, some
Yeah.
statements.
I just, as a side note, I would just be careful of who you're speaking to. Meaning, obviously, if you're a B2B offer, it's a CEO, you're not going to be just joking about life and everything. People just want to get things done. But again,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can do it, do it. It just depends what personality type you're dealing with. Because
Exactly.
otherwise, you get some asshole who's looking at you like,
But again, it's funny to me.
yeah.
But yeah,
So,
just
that's
watch
fine.
the rapport.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I can't see you. Ah, there we go.
Very
How you
well.
doing, brother?
Good thinking yourself.
Are you South African?
Just like you, yes.
I'm not South African.
Are you not South African?
No. No, which part are you from? Joburg? Or-
Joburg.
Nice, bro. I actually got this shirt in South Africa. I'm not joking. I got this
Right.
in George, actually.
Oh yeah. Nice. It's a lovely kind
What
of
are you
part of
doing
the
in
country.
Dubai?
Um, a broker working as a real estate agent,
Yeah,
and yeah.
that's great. Do you have a laptop, by the way, or like a computer?
Yes, I do. I've got it right in front of me. Just trying to. Please excuse the side.
Your wife, how old are you?
Get asked that question a lot. Yeah.
You can't be 30. No, you can't be 30. No way.
No, I went past 30, what, 10 years ago?
No.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
I want some of your genetics, bro. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I went past 30 10 years ago. I'm 40. So, yeah.
That's crazy, bro. You look amazing. No homo or anything, but just like those genes are crazy.
Yeah, no, thanks,
How do
brother.
you think I am?
Hey,
He didn't find that funny.
He did not find that funny. No, exactly.
probably in your early 30s. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it though. I'm mid 20s, mid 20s.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I lie about my age because if I tell someone I'm 19,
Yeah.
and
You're
then
19. Fuck, I forget you're 19. That's crazy.
and then I ask someone for like 5 grand, I'd be like,
Fuck,
sorry,
I forgot you're only 19, bro.
No,
It's
thank you.
crazy, man.
I know, I'm getting that. But the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
the main thing I want you to get from that is that like how much fun we're having, right? And I bet when you were watching that, you were laughing and smiling too because it's contagious,
Yeah.
right? And then now we're going to look at the desire and the cost of an action.
On a monthly basis, that would be about 50K. Yeah, around 50K.
It's about like 11, 12,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah.
sound to you?
Well, it's exciting, my man. Like, who wouldn't be happy with that kind of figure in their account?
Exactly. But I guess
Yeah.
like what would that actually?
If you look at my tone and my body language and my facial expressions, I'm in such a good mood, right? Because I want him to be in a good mood. Because I'm speaking about his desire, what he wants, and I want him to start feeling that emotion, right? And so when I'm speaking about the desire, I'm smiling, my body language is crazy, I'm making jokes, I'm laughing. How would that make you feel? But then if you keep watching, when I get into the cost of an action, you'll see my tone completely switch because I want to bring him up and then like rip like the carpet from underneath his feet and then let him slap back into reality.
Do for you personally if you were making that 10 to 11 to 12K or like 50K dirhams every month? What would that allow you and open up for you to do?
It would be, I can't say it's a time freedom because obviously the more I make, I want to make more. And that requires me to go in and put in more hours. But obviously the traveling, the properties back home, investment and investing in property this side as well. A good foundation as well and saving for my son,
Yeah, I
and
think I saw like a photo on your right. There's like a photo I think, of your wife and your son, like she's holding her up.
yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. So when you say like save up for your son, like what are you saving up for school or what are you saving up for?
Yeah, that would be for school. Yeah, that would be saving up and putting money aside for him to go to varsity and a good one that is,
So you see, a lot of the times people will be scared to ask these questions because they feel intrusive. But as you can tell, because we broke that barrier, we broke the sage resistance, and they're having a normal conversation, the way you ask the question is it becomes fine to ask it because you're just uncovering why it's important to them, and they're seeing why it's important to them at the same time, which is really important because it's almost like therapy. Sometimes they haven't even asked these themselves these questions, and figure out what's stopping them from hitting these goals and getting there. So it's really important that the way you do it is in a way where you're not condescending, you're just there to help, you're there to understand, and sort of just there to be able to bridge that gap in the
Exactly.
same way.
And on top of that, you need to get a bit intrusive. Because he said, yeah, I want to go traveling, save for my kid. What does that mean? For me, that's not enough. And you'll see how much detail I get into and get from him.
No, I don't want when the time comes and I'm still stressing over it, still stressing about where's the money going to come from and so on. There should be money put aside for those kind of things.
How much money do you want to set aside for it?
Again, very
Well,
detailed
he
question.
wants to go to the US,
That's
so
expensive,
clearly,
man.
exactly. So that won't come cheap. It's going to be costly, but I'd say about what 500 to about 800K.
Is that dirhams? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's about 50K. US.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said traveling. Where would you travel to? Like, what holidays would you take your family on? Walk me
Well,
through them.
I missed out recently on a
So crazy how much you've grown
I
from
know,
this.
I know, but again, you need to get more detail.
trip. My wife and son went because my commission was paid late, and yeah,
But you
was
missed out on
chasing.
a trip.
Hey?
You said that you missed out on a trip because your commission was late, or
Oh yeah, yeah. My commission was paid late. I was running after a seller after selling his property to release my commission. So yeah, but it will definitely be Bali,
why Bali?
Japan. Well, I mean, it's a beautiful country. I saw the photos when my wife went, and yeah, it looked amazing. It looks yeah, it looks like one of those Asian countries you definitely need to go and check. You know,
Did you say Japan as well?
yeah. I've got clients that are from Japan, and actually, it's yeah, Japan. It feels like they are 25 years ahead of everyone in the world.
It's true.
So I
It's
want
true.
to go and experience that. You know,
Lovely. And I guess
yeah.
like what let's say 6 months down the line, it's
Mhm.
what
But now I feel like I've had enough, right? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the picture for him, basically, like summarize all the information that he gave me, and then ask what would being in that position feel. And then I just want you to see the facial expression that he gets.
is it like September, October, something like that. Let's say you are
Correct.
making that 50K AD, you catch up, or you're in Bali, are you in
Mhm.
Japan looking at all the modern technology? You start setting up for your son. Well, what's his name, by the way?
See, see,
See.
yeah.
You start saying, what would being in that position feel like where you have all of those things?
It would mean so much to me being able to have all those things and enjoy it with my family, you know, because um my wife is a workaholic. Like she comes back from work and she's still sitting on the laptop as we speak. She's a teacher, by the way. And just being together away as a family, it would mean so much because we work so hard and we never really find time to go on vacation and actually say that, you know what, we were on vacation, we enjoyed ourselves, and I just want to go on vacation and have peace of mind when it comes to finances and not worry about we should have left this much under the mattress for us to come back and still have a bit of money. You know, I don't want that. I just want to travel happily and be free, knowing that we've got enough.
Exactly. And like I said, family at the end of the day is everything.
Now, how much more powerful is that compared to, oh, I just want to make 50K a month,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, they want the money for a reason, and you need to get to that reason. Obviously, you have the number, but you need to get to that reason. Now I'm going to flip it and do the cost of an action. Now, look at my tone as well.
Yeah, and the cool thing, just for me to add something, is that this applies to anything you're selling. It could be you're selling back pain relief. Like, I mean, it could be someone had his kid and he's can't. The person who's on the call with you wants to be able to run with his kid again, not be stuck on the sofa all day, be able to play with his kids, and you can get the same amount of emotion out, even if you're not selling like finances. You're selling like health and wellness. So, again, all of these questions can be asked for any type of things you're selling.
Right? Like you're setting this up for C and
Yeah,
for your wife as well. Right?
correct.
And like you mentioned as well, I mean, I hate to ask this, but like that's the other side though. You
Hmm.
know, where you don't really make the changes necessary to
Yeah.
have and to have that life. And do you feel like with the lead generation systems that you have in place now, and I guess the qualifying systems that you have in place, do you feel like you can get to that point where you are making 50K dirhams a month with what you have right now? as fast as you want, or do you feel like you might need to make a couple changes in order to get there?
Couple of changes, but at this point in time with the lead generation that we're getting, I guess it's a lot of local people, right, that think they understand the market, but at the same time you get the feeling that they have this thing that it's too expensive. Where else, when they look at the properties in Dubai and looking at the properties this side, there's a huge difference because REC is still cheaper,
Exactly.
So with the lead generation at the moment that I'm currently on or getting, I mean, yeah, that will take quite a long time to get to the point where we just lead generation. We
Exactly.
at that point, yeah.
Right. And then do you mind if I ask you a bit of an honest?
The reason I asked that question is to then get them to realize that what they have right now isn't going to get them to XYZ goal.
Yeah.
Which then means they need to try something new, which then means they need to buy your stuff. Simply.
Yeah.
This question as well.
Sure.
Because that's a success for you. You're making 50K, you're going to Bali, you're saving up, right? That's what the success for you. That's what the success looks like for you, right? But the other side, though, is you don't make the changes necessary to actually get there, right? And you keep staying at this, I guess, floating at your head above water.
Yeah.
And you make the changes necessary to get there. But can I ask, like, what does that look like going forward, though? Like, if you actually don't make the changes necessary to get to that 50K month AD.
Yeah, that's the cost of inaction right there.
And you can see the tone, like the way I'm speaking, the whole vibe changed.
Yeah.
And it's much more serious than like sad and like intense. Right?
Concerned. Yeah.
Concerned, exactly.
Okay, so I think definitely there has to be changes that would be made, right? And self-reflection as
I know
well.
I'm pausing it a lot, but that's not the question that I asked. I asked what happens if nothing changes, right? And then he said, no, I agree, changes need to be made. But that's not my question, right? The reason I asked that specific question is because I want him to tell me, and also tell himself,
I need to change. Yeah.
what his life will look like,
Yeah.
right? If he doesn't, not that he needs to make a change, of course. And you'll see how I interrupted and then get him to answer my original question.
Well, which I
No,
did.
sure, like we both agree that there needs to be changes, but what happens, like what does your life look like 6 months down the line if you don't make those changes?
Well, I'm going to be stagnant. I'm going to be where I am now. And I don't think I'd reach my full potential.
Yeah. And are you willing to settle for that, though, if you just stick where you are?
I can't settle for where I currently am. I need more.
But why aren't you willing to settle for where you are right now? Because there's a lot of people who are, and they're happy with it. But why aren't you willing to settle for it?
And when you've experienced sales and the money coming in, it gives you joy and freedom. And the fact that you don't have to be relying on anyone or chasing after money, it gives you that sense of, you've got your own money that's coming in and you're making your own money. It gives you that sense of independence, right? But also at the same time, anything that's not growing is dead. So I feel that for the past 2 years in real estate that I've been, there has been progress, and now more than ever. Maybe it's because I'm working for the company that I'm working for, but at the same time, I need to do more for myself. I need to do better for myself. I need to achieve way more than what I am currently on.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, as well, whose responsibility is it that you actually do make the changes necessary to get to that 50K mark?
Right.
Exactly.
That's but I've got no one else to say they need to help me with this or that. It's my responsibility.
Exactly. Honestly, bro.
And then I move on to the bridge or transition phase, whatever it's called.
So that's super powerful, man. Like at the point, all listening to this call, and we all want to help this guy, literally. Not just because Fox was asking certain questions, but it's like he uncovered so much about what he wants to do, what he should achieving his potential. It's like everyone is supporting him and everyone wants him to be successful. And even he sees it in himself and he's admitting it himself. So I think that's super. That's what we mean by like getting to the pain, uncovering the pain. Before, if we showed our calls of a cost of inaction question, like a few months ago, we'd say, okay, what would that mean to you if nothing changes? Nothing, I'd stay the same. Okay, and then we'll move on.
No.
Okay, but I have no weight. Asking a question like that has no weight if we're not asking it in a way where, again, it shows Fox cares, it shows that he's interested, he shows he wants to help, and it's just helping him realize that, yeah, it's up to him. Now, again, B2B offer, B2C offer, these might change on the market, but really and truly the principles stay the same.
Exactly.
If it's a health and wellness thing, it could be what does losing the weight mean to you? Why is that important to you? What happens if nothing changes? What happens if you're overweight? What happens if your partner still doesn't respect you because you're the same little things that Fox went through there that you need to be doing in the goal and cost of inaction questions as well.
100%. And I think that's a pretty good example of how to break it down and what it should look like.
And super proud of you, brother. That's some serious growth over the past 3 months
Thank
of how
you.
far you've come to, like,
Yeah.
Again, like we
So-
said, you're not
so
going to do this.
basically, like
Yeah, go ahead, AJ, noise.
So Fox, I mean, you mentioned that you one of the most important things, like from the previous video, for them to make a change, it is like current pain and future pain. So in the beginning of the sales call, you get into the current situation, which is painful, and then the cost of inaction is the future pain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we know the
And that's
current
how you
pain,
make this go.
the cost of inaction is what happens if the next year is like the current year you had.
Exactly. Because imagine.
And then they feel that future pain,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Like, oh, I'm not reaching my full potential. I won't be able to send my kid to college, the university he wants to go.
Exactly.
He feels that future pain, and that's how you make this.
But the reason it's very powerful is because I did the desire before. Because I showed him what his
Okay.
life could be, and he was feeling those emotions, and then you bring it back down to reality. It's like, fuck, I really want that,
Mhm.
and then he needs to make a change in order to get there.
The contrast makes it more painful.
100%. Because if you go cost of inaction straight away, sure, it's powerful,
Yeah.
of course, but from what I've seen, it's more powerful to do it right before you pitch. Because the reason, again, like you just said, AJ, people buy is because of pain, and if you can get them in that state before you pitch, then they're more likely to buy.
Makes a lot of sense.
A lot of sense, man.
So yes, that was a sales clinic on framing, and I would say that's a sales clinic on the frame and on goal and cost of inaction and how important it is. Again, it's going to be uncomfortable to ask those questions. You're going to have to go to months of feeling uncomfortable, asking them in a way where it doesn't work, but just keep pushing through to be able to come to a phase where you understand the sales process, you understand the sales goal, you understand yourself, you understand your product, and then it becomes much easier. It took Fox 4 or 5 months to get to
6,
yeah.
7. Like,
So let's say
it
6
takes
months
time.
to actually get to this level of where he's at, and all he does is consume sales content, creates practice.
Okay, I'm not like that good of a.
No, I'm not saying he's the best sales
Yeah,
coach in
yeah.
the world, but I'm saying it took him 6 months to get to where he's at and putting in a lot of work, which is uncovering and understanding this process. So when you first start out, your calls are not going to sound like that. It might feel weird. You might feel like you don't have to ask the questions, but
You do,
you do.
and it takes time.
Exactly.
And it just takes time. Literally.
Exactly.
You can try rush it. Of course, you can do things to improve faster, but it takes time.
So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. That wasn't recording.
Huh?
It wasn't recording.
No.